Today we got a request to review etrends.ca. So let's take a look here. Let's get down to business. So first off, this is their homepage here. Their catalog is very all over the place. So we got bumper stickers, laptop decals, laser engraved leather wallets, masks, oxygen canisters, and safety signs. And I'm going to be talking a lot about this because right now there isn't a clear focus as to what your store is about. It seems to be all over the place, and because of that, you don't have a very specific audience that you're looking to get. And so you're going to lose customers because they might be exposed to products that they weren't expecting to be exposed to, so they might think that they've gotten to the wrong website, or it's just you're not getting the right traffic to your site because it's kind of all over the place. If it were bumper stickers and laptop decals, you know, that might make a little bit more sense together. Maybe with the laser engraved wallets, it's just a little bit all over the place, and then you randomly have mass guess because the epidemic and pandemic, I should say, and then you randomly have oxygen canisters and then safety signs. So, I mean, this is more for industry. This is more for athletes and sports. This is because of the pandemic, and then these kind of go together. Uh, you need to adjust your product line so that you know what your target audience is, and so that you can capitalize on that target audience. So I'll go into this a little bit further. Let's take a look at your homepage. Let's take a look at a couple different things and then get back to that. So first off, your first image on your homepage, it's very artisanal. And it plays to the leather wallets here, but it doesn't play to your other products that you're selling. So I would perhaps replace this with something that has images of the different products that you're selling, and perhaps make a bit more of a statement about how it's customized products for you. You can capitalize on perhaps urban living. You just need to make sure that you have a target audience and that you're really expressing towards that. The other thing, like I said, you want to focus on your products. So, you could have this as a secondary image. Honestly, I would remove this image because it doesn't really go with the other products. Also, it's great that you have good customer support, and it is something that you should advertise, but I don't think I would advertise it within your hero banner. Again, I would really put some images of your product that express what it's about. Not just your target audience, but also, what kind of lifestyle your products fit into. So let's take a look at the rest of the homepage here. So after your hero banner, I typically recommend putting some example products. So you might want to put, one of these collections here, one of those. In this case, I might actually recommend putting this guy right underneath your hero banner, just because that can direct people more specifically. Again, like this is very much an artisanal picture. And if you were selling artisanal products and only artisanal products, that would be great. But that's not really the case. So you might want to have some images of the different wallets themselves to give people an understanding of what different sort of customizations they're available, what those wallets actually look like. That sort of thing. You just want to make sure that it's very clear. So you might want to include like some of these images, but in one picture that you're going to put there. So scrolling down, I mean, I like this. This is great. You might even be able to put it up a little bit higher. Perhaps in between these two here, just to kind of split up the concept here. So hero banner, shop by department, perhaps this. Otherwise have this and then that. And then you might want to advertise whichever product line you are making the most off of. So whether that's the leather wallets or whether that's the decals for, people's laptops. So looking at your footer page, I like it. I think it's great. The one thing that's missing is that you need a newsletter sign up in your footer. I can see it here, but it's not available on all pages. It's just going to be available on your homepage. Newsletter is a great way to keep people involved in your store. Definitely put one in there in the footer. You might even want to have like a pop-up so that you've got a good call to action, you know, give incentive, 20% off your first order, something to that extent. It's great that you have the different social media links there. I noticed that the Pinterest one is just connected to Pinterest. It's not connected to an account. So, either get a Pinterest account and connect it or remove that link. You want to make sure that you're not directing traffic away from your store as opposed to towards it. Another thing, so at the bottom here, we have the Powered by Shopify, which is very easy to get rid of. The theme by Debutify, since this is a third-party theme, might be a little bit more difficult to get rid of. You might have to actually go into the coding language, but you can actually get rid of that. If you get rid of those two, it just looks a lot more professional than you just have your own company there. One other thing I noticed is that you probably want the shop now over to the left here so that it is the second link as opposed to the third. It's great that you have our story and that's awesome to have on there as well as to track your order, but you do want to direct traffic immediately to purchasing your products. So let's take a look at one of your collections here. So let's take a look at the bumper stickers and more. So there are some great things and there are some things that can be improved upon. So first of all, I love that, things are very well organized. It does make sense, which is awesome. You might want to split these up a little bit more so that customers can find the exact type of bumper sticker that they're looking for. So you might want to split it up into things like Harry Potter, or maybe you want to do something like kids so that it's more generic and you can, put a lot of other things in there, like the baby on board. You really want to make it so that it's easy for customers to find the products that they're looking to find. So having this better sorted to have it better filtered will help you because then customers can actually find the products that they're looking for more easily. So let's take a look at one of your products here. So we have this Ministry of Magic vinyl cut under bumper stickers. So let's take a look here. I love that the add to cart and buy now as well as the quantity is right at the top. That's the way to do it. You have description of the size and what it's useful for. You might want to have a bit of a description about the product itself. I mean, I guess it's fairly self-explanatory, but you do want to have a bit of a description there before you go into the details about what size it is, color, etc. So I would suggest putting even just a little descriptor, a sentence or two, just something to put in there. One thing I don't like is that your customer reviews take up a lot of your page. It's very useful that you have them, but try and put them in a way that is more compact. This is going to look nicer, or it should look nicer when you view it on mobile. So mobile looks a bit better, but at the same time, it still takes up a lot of space with the different customer reviews. So I would try and figure out a way of reducing that so that you really you don't have to scroll way to the bottom of the page in order to see other products that people have purchased. So now let's take a look at your website SEO. So for your homepage, this is what people would see on Google. So it's good and it's bad. So your title doesn't describe who you are. So first of all, you should have your actual company name in there, and then you might want to have a blurb about what you sell. So custom decals or you have to figure out what your store is about product wise, and then you have to put a very, very short blurb in your title so that it gives people context for what you actually sell. And similarly, you need to do this in the description. So right now you're just doing the wallets and the vinyl decals. This needs to be updated. And I always say there are three things that are important when you have a description. That is keywords, length, and comprehension. So keywords, you want to try and see things from the customer's perspective and say, okay, if I was trying to find this site, what would I enter into Google as keywords in order to be able to find it? So you want to make sure that you include as many of those keywords as possible. Um, and the next thing, length, you have to make sure that it stays within 100 characters. You can go a little bit over, but other than that, it's actually going to get cut off here and people won't be able to see the rest of it. And Google itself will just put less emphasis on it. It won't care as much and it won't advertise that as much to the target audience. So update that. And the last thing is comprehension. It needs to make sense to your average person. It can't just be a whole bunch of keywords one after the other. So definitely update that. Similarly, let's take a look at the SEO for one of your products here. So for some reason, things unbeknownst to me, it's grabbing the third picture, which is weird. That seems a little bit strange. I've never seen that happen before with the Shopify store. It's usually always the first picture. Um, so I don't actually know what's going on here, why it's grabbing the third. Um, in this case, the description is fine. You might want to take out the size of it just to keep it a little bit more short and concise. And then we get to the description. And this is what I was talking about before in terms of it getting cut off. So you need to keep it within 100 characters. And this doesn't have really any keywords at all about it. Cut vinyl, decal, those are keywords in there. But aside from that, especially at the start, it's not giving you any information about what this product is, and it's not giving you any keywords that you would be searching for on Google. So you want to include things like Mystery of Magic, Harry Potter, custom decal, those sorts of things, so that as if you were to try and find it yourself. So you need to go into each of your products from the back end of your Shopify store, scroll to the bottom, click on Edit SEO, and update all of your descriptions. It might take you some time, but you need to do this, otherwise you are not going to get the correct traffic. Even if you get traffic, it doesn't necessarily mean it is the correct type of traffic. So there you go. There's my review of eTrends. I really hope it helps out. There is potential here, but you really need to do a lot of changes in order to make sure that you're getting the traffic that you're looking for. Hope that helps, and I will catch you next time.